I'm reviewing and demoing two drugstore palettes today. One is Juvia's Place. This is one called the Nudes, and also e.l.f. the New Classics. Hi, I'm GloryB, and this is GloryB-TV, a lifestyle channel for mature women who want to look fabulous, feel amazing, and age gracefully. Well, I've got a whole bunch of eyeshadow palettes, and sometimes I just have to give them away because they just feel like there's too many. And when they start to get really expensive in the more prestige brands, I think, oh, maybe I should hang on to it for a little while. But there are a lot of drugstore brands out there, and I wanted to try two of them today and actually do a tutorial, a demo, whatever you want to call it. The first is the Nudes by Juvia's Place. They have a lot of bright colors in most of their palettes, but this one is lighter, which as a woman who's older, who's well over 50, I have to be careful about which palettes I use. If they're too bright, if they're too dark, it just looks goofy on me. So I like a lot of light colors. And then the other one is e.l.f. the New Classics. This is out of their palettes that are about this size. This one seemed the least orangey and the least bold and bright. I mean, how many electric blue eyeshadows could I use? So there's some dark colors in here as well, but for 14 bucks, I thought, heck, I'm just gonna try it. So let's get right to the demo. I'm ready with the Nudes by Juvia's, and the thing about this is it doesn't have one color that's like a creamy base color. So I'm going to use something else. I'm going to use one of my my own little individual shadows that I put in a Z palette. This is an Anastasia eyeshadow called Fresh, and it's just very basic. And I'm going to start with that all over. I've already done my brows, and I also did a dark brown kohl pencil on my eyeliner. And I always like to go in line with some shadow. So I am going to use Juvia's for this. And I'll go ahead and use this one in the corner because it is the darkest one they have. And then I'm going to line the under eye. I'm not sure if this is too orange for me. So after I do this palette, I might decide to return it, depending. Sometimes the orange look, I know it's very popular, but it can really make some people look like they're not feeling well. But that's a 60-year-old's opinion. Usually I do a shadow over my eyeliner as well. I think I'm going to skip that today, and we'll just see how it goes later in the day. I like it because as an older person, now with my eyes open, sometimes the eyeliner touches the skin above. So putting a little eyeshadow powder that's a similar color to the eyeliner can help with that. Now that I have the base, creamy base from another color, I think I'm going to go in with this one down here. They don't name these. It's a little less orangey than the other one, and use that as my transition shade. Let's see how that goes. So it's light enough. I like that. I like that it's not too dark. There's not much fallout. This is my first time buying Juvia's. For me, a lot of their other palettes are very bright. Probably too bright for me. And I'm just going above the crease line so that as I open my eyes and look at you, you can see a little bit of that color showing through or showing above my open eye. And then I can take a blending brush and blend it out. Now I'm going to use this darker shade in a very small angled brush, and I'm going to go into part of the outer crease and down a little bit. So I'm just going to tap it in so that I don't get too much color, and then I'll bring it down, kind of an outer V look. And I will be blending that out as soon as I do the second eye. If I make any mistakes, I can make up for it with some of the creamy color. All right, and then I'll blend this. The lights are bright. So now I have a choice of, there are 3 different shimmer shades. This one, the middle one, and this one down here. Or if I turn it this way, there's no mirror in here, so I can do this. So what I'm going to do, I think I'll go to the outer corner of the mobile lid and I'll use the dark one. I'm going to use a very small brush so that I don't put too much on. Put it right on the mobile lid there on the outer part. And it's not too dark. It's actually showing up kind of light. I'm kind of surprised. Now I want to go in the rest of the mobile lid with one of the other shimmer shades. I'm going to swatch those 2 first. So my index finger, I have the one that's more gold, and on my middle finger, I have the one that has more of a warm tone. I think I'm going to use that warmer tone, not the gold. And we'll see what that looks like, because in the pan, it's really hard to tell what it's going to look like on the eye. Interestingly, in the bright lights, it doesn't look too different from the one that in the pan looks more rosy. And there's some glitter in this. I would call it glitter. It's more glitter than shimmer, so you'd want to be careful with this if you're over 50. And especially, I can see I'm getting it under my eyes, so I always keep this. This fluffy brush is something that I use just for cleaning up underneath. But I still want to blend it a little bit. Oh my gosh. All right. And then I'm going to go back and clean up with my creamy color from Anastasia. I'm going to put on some mascara and I'll be right back. This is the finished look. I do have glitter on my face, so I might end up returning this. I have to think about it for a day or 2. I don't think it's too orangey looking on me. So that is a plus. Tell me in the comments what you think. Do you think it's too orangey? What would you think if you got glitter on your face? Would you return a palette? I still have some time to do that at Ulta. Well, up next, we'll look at a palette from e.l.f. I'm all set to apply e.l.f. the new classics. I've started by putting on some dark brown kohl pencil eyeliner. And just like in the last segment, I used my small little brush to put some color eyeliner using eyeshadow under my eye and use that over the eyeliner. So for that, I chose this color right here. It's called Earth. It's a dark brown, but it's more of a taupey brown. And I've also done my brows. So now I'm ready to start with a base. And there's only one color for that. It's this one called Cream. It's the only one that is not shimmer. It is actually a matte. So out of these 18 shadows, half are matte and half are shimmer. So I'm just going to use a fairly large brush, and I'm actually going to go under the brow, but I'll do the entire eye area just to get a really good base. Now, I am getting some fallout in the pan, but typically I don't get too much on my face, but I'll clean that up later if I do. So now I'm ready for the transition color. There are only a few colors in here that I would consider transition. There are a couple up here that are more of a warm brown, and then there's this one over here. It's more of a beigey color. And this one's called Uptown. That's the one I'm going to use for this. And using kind of a medium-sized brush, I'm going to go above the crease and a little bit out into the corner and down. And then blend it out. The point being that when I look straight at you, when my eyes are fully open, you should be able to see a little bit of that transition color showing. Now next, I think what the color I want to choose next is this one called Charmer. It's kind of a rosy taupe. And I'm going to put that into the crease, but into the outer crease. So I'm going over some of that transition shade color, but below it as well. And then I'll be blending that out. Now, if I were going for a daytime look, that's all the intensity I would go for. But, you know, it's a video about eyeshadow. So I'm going to go into this color called Earth that I used for lining with a tiny little angled brush. And I'm just going to press a little bit of that into the crease on the outer part of the eye and bring it down. So I've got a bit of a V going on here. And after I blend it out, you'll get to see what that actually looks like. Now, these shimmer shades, some of them are really similar to one another. So I want to swatch on my fingertips a few of them. So there's this really white one called Blanc. I'll do this creamy one called Glamour. This one down here called Rose Gold right here. And then this one called Cosmo. So from left to right, you'll see Blanc, Glamour, Rose Gold, Cosmo. So this one's Blanc. You can see it is really white. The second one, Glamour, and the fourth one are really close in color. I'm going to put the Rose Gold on the mobile lid, on the outer mobile lid, and I'm going to put this one Glamour on most of the mobile lid. Let's start with the lighter one called Glamour. And I'm going to put that on most of the mobile lid. And then I'm going to take a really small brush, dip it into that rose gold, which I think it's kind of copper looking. And I'm just going to put it in this outer part of the mobile lid. And it's not, I'm finding it's not all that pigmented, so that's interesting. So I might need to build it up a little bit while it pools on the palette itself. So it is making a little bit of a, that's here, a little bit of a mess in the palette, but it is a $14 palette. And then blend it a bit. I think I'm going to go back in with the Glamour color. I don't want a dark look. Glamour being that light one. I just like a light color on me at this age. So that the darker colors just add some drama and interest without being really dark. Now I'm going to go back into that first creamy color called Cream and just clean up some of this. All right. Now, I'm going to take a last look to see what you see. And I think that looks pretty good. And now I'm going to put on some mascara and I'll be right back. This is the finished look with e.l.f. the new Classics. This one I like. I think it's a great deal for $14. I'm still not sure about this one though from Juvia's Place. I am contemplating returning it just because it's just so much glitter. What do you think? Do you think it's too much glitter for me? Or what would you do if you had glitter on your face? Would you just return the palette? Check out one of my other videos by clicking its image on the right side of your screen, and I'll see you in the next video.